Oh, now we're
Please
talking,
die.
baby.
Son.
Let's go.
Stop. Cotton Sun.
Cotton
Anyways.
Sun.
Fate decided.
Let's get this party started.
Craving something scary.
Hello, Sidney.
Killjoy Jake.
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
Night Watch Zone.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Get up!
The collective has spoken.
What's going on, everybody? Here we are, ready to rock and roll on a Monday night, the Lethal Collective. And yes, the name has been guessed, and we will address it now that our good friend Fate Decided is with us. Killjoy Jake. Guys, we got a couple things that we were talking about backstage. We'll get to that in a second. But also just to give a blanket hello to all you guys that are in the chat. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. As always, just to say hello real quick, RJ, what is up? We got Wayne, 11 a.m. Tuesday. Woo! Oh my gosh.
He's in the future.
Yeah, right? I know. Julie's in the house. Lindsay's in the house. Erica's in the house, ready to bite off fingers if you guys don't do the right thing. There she is right there, the one that guessed it. The general Val, with all the help, all the mods putting this thing together. Look at what Erica wrote. You guys. Hey,
I was getting a bunch of comments like that.
What did we always say? Even on Thursday, Jake, we kept saying it's right there, and
it's right there. Yeah,
it
dude.
was. Hey, speaking of which, Val or any of you guys, you got to let us know. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because we kept saying it's right there. Look at Val. Val did it too. These guys, all right, they're on a mission. They're on a mission, and I'm loving it. Shout out to a good friend Sarah too, one of our other mods. She said she had thrown it out there before. I didn't know, so shout out to her too. She was like, we already guessed that. I'm like, you did? I don't remember it.
I'm also a little surprised that people got it because most people think Jake, so
yeah,
putting the K for Killjoy.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of my things that I always thought, like, that's why no one would ever really get it, because they might look at like, okay, well, Fate F, Night N, Craven C, Jake J. What is that? Like, I always, like, that was my one slimmer of hope, was that, like, they wouldn't put together the Killjoy part.
Exactly, man. Who would have thought?
Damn it, Jake, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
I should have just been
blame it on.
I should have just been Jake, not
Yeah.
nothing else. Yeah.
You've just been called Roy. Just be Roy.
Roy Jake.
Roy
Jake Roy. There we go.
Roy.
Hey, real quick too, just a shout out Scott in the house too, man. And absolutely, I also want to second this. Rest in peace to the great Rob Reiner, who I know for myself growing up, so many of his movies and obviously All in the Family, these are things that I grew up on, man, and some of my most favorite movies of all time. So it's such a tragic thing. Yeah, rest in peace to Rob Reiner. Seriously.
Crazy getting that headline this morning. That was really tragic.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, are you serious? Mandy said never cross the streams. That's right. Never, ever. Never. Okay, and the rest of you guys, we appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Let's jump. We got some fun stuff we're gonna get to, but let's get into this real quick, because backstage, this conversation just started to head towards Scream 6. Of course, we know that is Fate Decided's favorite film alongside Halloween Kills. But we were talking about how successful or not successful it was in the box office. So Fate, I'll turn it over to you, because it's interesting when you look at it this way.
No, so we're talking in the backstage, essentially boiled down to just like marketing for this film. And we're all kind of a little disappointed on the marketing. And a big argument that a lot of people make is like, oh, well, the trailer had, 10 million views. But like I've said, is like, that's not 10 million people that watched the trailer. Like myself,
Right.
I've probably watched it 15 to 20 times. Knight's probably watched that about the same. Jake, like content creators that make videos in that space have probably account for 1 million of those views, stuff like that. Let's say it's like half of that. Say it's 5 million people. That's great. But how many of those people are going to see the movie? How many people? Like, you want to keep the buzz. And something that I talked about, and I've talked about it, I've done video breakdowns before, but like Scream 5 had success. Like, you got ticket sales. Scream 6 made more money, but it didn't sell as many tickets. There wasn't as many viewers that went to go see Scream 6. Now you might be asking, Fate, how is that possible? How did Scream 6 make more money, but Scream 5 did better? And it's because Scream 6 was the first movie to kind of use gimmicks to increase the box office sales. So Scream 6, and again, you can look this up yourself, Scream 6 accounted 20%. So 20% of ticket sales for Scream 6 was for Real D 3D. So it was the first movie to ever do 3D, and it accounted for 20%. It might have been 22%. I'm going off the top of my head, but 20% of it was from the 3D. So that means 80% was the IMAX, was all the other little gimmicks. What is it? Not the Xbox, but like it's like the box one where like the seats move and stuff like that. Like they do all the cool stuff like that one, and then they also did. And then you had the normal ticket sales. So you're talking about 20% came from a ticket, rate that is double, if not triple, what a normal ticket price is. So again, it's like if I sold something for $30 and Knight sells something for $12, Knight could sell more tickets than me, but I could make more money because my ticket price is 3 times that amount, or 2.5 times, whatever. So the problem is that, and my concern, and one of the reasons I really want to see more marketing, and I've been so adamant about the marketing, is because the 2 movies that have had by viewership have had the least success are the 2 movies that were marketed the fewest: Scream 4 and Scream 6. In the modern like social media era, obviously 96, stuff like that, we didn't have like what we had today. But back in 2011, Facebook was a huge thing. Like, it was the beginning stages of it. But like we've talked about here on the collective before, we didn't even know like Scream 4. Like myself, I was on my way to another movie and saw they just came out with another Scream movie, and by the time I went back to theaters, already out, right? So again, like my concern is, again, like you had to kind of trick the numbers in order to make Scream 6 look successful, right? Or more successful, right? So again, like, yes, you could argue it still made more money, but it didn't have the general success that Scream 5 had. Again, if I raise the price of my product, that doesn't mean people are buying more, even if I made more money. Now, to be fair, it's about the bottom dollar. It's about the bottom line. But but the concern is you start having this decline of viewership, right? So then now, movies start doing worse and worse and worse. My problem is you have a downward trend for the movies that don't get marketed. And so much so that Scream has to do little gimmicks that they never had to do before. They didn't have to do any of that in Scream 5. So Scream 5 made almost as much as Scream 6. What was it? It was like an 8 million difference or something off the top of my head?
There was like a 20 million difference.
Yeah.
Was it that much?
It isn't like super duper significant, but it's something. I mean, it's
well. Let me ask you this: so, are you thinking that for 6 they were purposefully thinking they had to use that as part of their gimmick because they didn't have as much faith in the movie?
So no, they didn't release the 3D and stuff like that till later. So they released it initially, and then whatever, like 2 weeks later or whatever, then they started opening up the 3D and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't know. Maybe that was the plan from the beginning. But my concern, or what my thought process is just based on what we saw is that they released it. It wasn't doing too well. So they were like, hey, let's do 3D. Again, the 3D thing, it wasn't like it was 2% of the ticket sales. It was 20%. So if you're talking literally 20% of the ticket, that's a pretty good percentage of sales came from 3D. And that's assuming we don't know how many were rewatches. So if I went and watched it normal and then I wanted to go again to go, oh, it's in 3D. For the first time ever, I can watch a Scream movie in 3D. How many people that saw it originally went back and saw it again? So those ticket sales might be even lower than what we know. The problem is they don't give exact numbers of how many people purchase tickets. You can go to sites and get a roundabout, but you never know exactly. Like you don't know 1 million people bought tickets to Scream 5 and 800,000 bought tickets to Scream 6. Like they don't tell you that. You can kind of you don't have official numbers. You just kind of you can. There's companies there's websites and stuff that'll track it, but you don't know how accurate it is. So, but again, you have 20% of ticket sales going through just 3D. That's not counting, like I said, the little box thing. That's not counting, IMAX tickets. That's not counting all those other things. Although Scream 5 did do the big screen, the IMAX one. So, you could wash that out if you want. But Scream 6 did a few things that no other Scream movie did to inflate those ticket prices, which is my concern. So that's the thing is I don't know. Like we don't know. I wish we had like an actual metric of like, 1 million people, like, 1 million people watched Scream 5, but, 1.1 watched Scream 6. And the 20 million difference is that 20% from the 3D. We don't know that exactly. But just based on the dollar amount, like if you do the math, based on the dollar amount, there was a significant drop in what would be ticket sales for Scream 6 compared to Scream 5. Yeah. So, that's the problem. And go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, because all of this stemmed from the fact that we were talking about how we were hoping for more things coming out about 7, whether it's whatever, just some great marketing, and we haven't seen that. Now, let me throw this at you guys, and I'll throw it to you first, Jake. So, I mean, number one, how concerning is this to you, to get your point of view on it? And do you think that it's on purpose, or do you think it's just kind of the way they're going with it, or what?
Well, there's a couple of factors in all of this. With any series that is ongoing, you're going to have waning viewership, like just with any franchise continuation. There's simply going to be people who just don't like the direction that it's going, and they're going to drop off. That's just how it goes. With any franchise that's ongoing like this, that's just going to be the case. It's always going to be waning. Look at all the new Jurassic World films. It's exactly the same thing. Each and every one of those movies has made 200 million less than the last. Like it's almost like a perfect downward incline, or you know what I mean, decline. But the thing with the Jurassic World movies is that they are making so much money that it doesn't matter. I mean, the third one made $1 billion, and this last one, which got both of those last two movies got review bombed. I mean, even the last one still made $800 million at the box office, pulling in a huge return. And it's the same thing with Scream 6. I mean, 6 might have sold less tickets, but it did make more money than the previous entry. 7, I think, might be. I don't know. I really don't know yet, because for the longest time, I was saying if they keep the current trend of what they did with 6, just the same thing with 7, they'll make just as much, if not more money. I'm not talking to ticket sales. I'm just specifically talking about box office. But the problem is they've really just released a trailer, and that's it. Yeah. But with all of that being said, it is the holiday season. So maybe we're just going to go nuts throughout January and February, which is kind of what I'm predicting right now. And we're already starting to see some seeds of that starting to form. Ice Nine Kills recently announced on their, I think it's like their tour across Europe or something. I don't know where they are right now, but they just had a big thing posted the other night where they're doing some sort of Scream 7 collaboration, some sort of new song. And it's going to be just like what they did with Terrifier 3. They came out with that A Work of Art song. long. There's a big music video with a bunch of people from the actual movies. I imagine it's going to be something similar to that. And that's going to be where your first big piece of marketing outside of the trailer, you know, your more gimmicky experimental stuff, which does bring people to the theater. That's where you're going to get, I think that's where we're going to start to get some of that stuff. But we got to keep going. We got 2.5 months until this thing comes out, man. They got to get moving.
No, I agree with that, and it is interesting because of the time frame. Because you're right, it's the holiday season. So yeah, I mean, obviously, we know as content creators, this is not the big focal point for horror right now. After the holidays, for sure. And I think that, you know, we need some cool shit, man. I mean, I'm not even just talking about a trailer. You know, let's get some character posters. Let's get some you know, a map of the town, or, you know, like some images of whatever, you know. Let's start getting that stuff out for like Entertainment Weekly. And these are the things that will drive the conversation and build the hype.
It was every day with Scream 6. I mean, there was a new poster, there was a new interview. I mean, there was something to talk about. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. Almost every single day of the week with Scream 6.
Yeah, Scream 5. Scream 5 was the one that had the poster every week.
Yeah,
right?
Well, dude, Scream 6 too, man. There's a ton of posters, I feel.
There was.
Scream 6 were a lot of fan posters. Like, there was a lot of, like, the Scream 5 was the one that Scream collaborated with Creepy Duck Art. And every week we got a new poster, literally every week. And then we had the blood drops, and we all thought it was going to be the trailer, but it was like the official posters, the one with like Ghostface, you know, standing like looking over his shoulder or whatever.
Yeah,
right? Like, you just don't. But that's the thing that bothers me so much is you have so many like just easy ways, like the poster thing, right? Like it, like I don't know what Creepy Duck Art and the studio worked out like financially or whatever, but there's a lot of artists that would probably do that for free just to have that on their resume, just to be able to say like, I created all the posters for Scream 7, right? Like, you could do so many collaborations, collaborate with YouTubers on stuff. I'm not even talking about us. We're not really that big compared to, you know, is it like 3C Films and stuff like you could be doing collaborations with these bigger, you know, Dead Meat, obviously, with Radio Silence Connection, stuff like that. But I also want to clear up, because like I said, I want to make sure I'm giving accurate information. So according to entertainment intelligence data mentioned in Deadline, 18% of its 3.2 million opening weekend attendees saw it in 3D. So 18% of the opening 3.2 million came from 3D, right? And again, you're talking about, which also means that I was actually wrong. So it must have been something else. I must be getting them mixed up. Like I said, I'm trying to do this off the top of my head for something I talked about months ago. But it must have been something else that they did after, because it looks like they did the 3D immediately. But I know there was maybe it was the box one, like I said, with the moving seats and everything. Maybe I know one of those like novelty things they did like 2 weeks after. But again, 18% opening weekend, and then I'm pretty sure it was 22% overall went and saw the 3D. I want to make sure I'm not saying stuff that's inaccurate, right? Like, so, but again, like that's a pretty significant mark, because you're talking 18% of that 3.2 million saw it in 3D, right? Like, those ticket sales are not the $12, you know, average ticket sale price. Those are like 30. So you had people, you had 18% of people that went and saw that movie opening night, saw it in 3D. Like, you remove that 18%. I'd have to do the math, but like, you know, like that's pretty significant. You know, you're talking at least probably 600,000, somewhere in that range, of what it made. So if you take that away and you just did the opening thing, let's say, you know, again, how many of those were people that watched it again, right? How many people saw it on Thursday and then went back and watched it, and because they're like, ooh, I finally get to watch a Scream film in 3D. Like, that's the problem with this stuff. It's like, we don't know, like I mentioned earlier, we don't know exactly all the data and details. We're just kind of going off of like this site and this site and this site and this site. Like, but yeah.
Well,
anyway, sorry, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully, like we were thinking, and Jake was saying, I mean, after the holidays, hopefully we just get like an avalanche of stuff coming out, because I do think it is important to do that. there has to be some decent marketing. We can't just sit back and think, okay, we're just gonna chill out because we've got Nev Campbell's coming back and we got all these other folks jumping in and so forth.
Yeah, but how many people know? Like, that's my other concern, too.
Right?
It's
Other
like,
than us,
like obviously, like it's like, and I talk about this all the time, right? Like, it's easy to be in our little ecosystem, our little bubble, and think everybody knows everything about this Scream movie. But the reality is, like, how many people know that that this isn't, that the Carpenter sisters have no involvement in this film, right? Like, you know how many people probably are going to go back and go watch this movie and be like, what? Like, where are we? Like, did I miss the movie? Like, what happened?
Right?
Like, or we're going back to Sydney or something like that. It's just, I mean, I just don't think you can ever market a film too much.
Yeah.
The most successful Scream movie we've ever had the best marketing we've ever seen. I mean, you can make an argument for any movie ever, but it wasn't like a super costly marketing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They had the collaborations, like the Dewey collab. They had the Sidney commercial, for what was it like? Was it like I don't remember what it was.
Insurance or something?
Yeah, something like that. But like, you had the Sidney commercial. You had the Airbnb. You had the TikTok account from, was it Sarah? Like the TikTok account. You had Instagram had that filter where Ghostface would like sneak up behind you. Like, they had a bunch of like little things, not to mention all the posters that we got and all those other things. It's just, Red Cross. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Red Cross. It's like, all that stuff is very simple. Most of those things, like, you are mutually beneficial. Both sides are getting paid for that. And we got a bunch of marketing stuff, right? Like, you got the Fortnite skin stuff like that, but none of it was Scream 7. It was just Ghostface. So all the collaborations we have gotten over the last few months have no tie to Scream 7. It's all just Ghostface collab. So again, how many people see the Fortnite skin and have no idea that there's a new movie coming out? They just think like, oh, it's Halloween season, so of course they're doing a Ghostface skin, right?
Yeah.
I will say, I think this Ice Nine Kills thing is going to create a lot of excitement. Like, I feel like they're not doing this just because, Ice Nine Kills likes horror movies. Like, I mean, dude, look at the marketing revolving around Terrifier 3 and look at what that led to for that franchise.
That is so true.
Terrifier's been on an upward tick for a long time now, but I mean, 3, I didn't think it would even come close to, what was it, like $89 million? It's an unrated, gory, just a clown ripping people apart kind of movie. It made so much money. That's crazy. I mean, dude, they're looking at that success and they're saying, we got to make this an event, because Terrifier 3 was an event. I've never seen anything like that in a theater before. That was what brought me there. But also there was so much excitement from the rest of the horror community too. Ice Nine Kills making a music video about it was just one small part of it. But I really think this is a good sign. This is a really good and positive, hopeful sign to say they're going to go nuts with the marketing campaign, but they're just going to wait until the holidays die down. Because like we were saying earlier, horror is just not really the biggest interest of the world right now, where everyone's focusing on, I need to get that right Christmas present for little Billy.
I need to be online shopping, not watching YouTube.
Right.
All right, real quick in the chat, I just wanted to also say we got Jen in the house. Channel member anniversary. We got the big 3-6. What's up, Jen? Glad that you are back. Saying good evening. Finally home. Thank God life is normal again. Well, we're so glad that you made it home and hope that you're enjoying the stream.
Hope your cruise was nice. Hope your cruise was fun, Jen.
Right? Some cool stuff.
Jealous.
Very, very cool.
Jealous.
Right? I know. Acres in the house. What's going on? Good to have you here. Night Watch, have you seen Rosemary? The Rosemary Baby prequel? Yeah. Apartment 7A with Julia Garner. I did see that. Listen, I mean, we didn't need it. That's for sure. But I do like Julia Garner. I do. She's a really cool actress. It had some moments. Did you guys see that one?
I still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I know of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Jen said I'm never going on a cruise again. Oh, no. That's too bad. Oh, wow.
Was it the poop cruise?
I don't even want to.
Do you guys know about the poop cruise?
No.
What? You don't know about the poop cruise?
No.
Oh, man.
No. And
Only Jake would know something like this.
I'm an expert on the poop cruise. Are you kidding me, man? I'm a proud expert.
What-
I'm not going to talk all about it because I will, but there's documentaries, guys. Look up. My fiance just came in the room. She heard Poop Cruise. She's like, "What's going on in here?"
She's like,
Oh.
"This is up."
All of our neighbors probably heard you screaming, "You don't know about the poop cruise?"
That was great.
Listen, the Poop Cruise is important to me. Okay, so I
Right.
just want everyone to know that.
Introduced you to it.
She introduced me to the Poop Cruise. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
This stream is derailed.
You were stealing her thunder, bro.
I was. We were on vacation, and she's like, "It could be worse," And I'm like, "How could it be worse?" She's like, "We could be on the Poop Cruise right now." And then she showed me a whole hour-long documentary about it.
Jeez.
Well, now I want to know what the poop cruise is. So tell us.
Yeah. Well, according to Jen, it was nothing about damn poop. It was just too crowded. Okay. Wow. That was great.
It's self-explanatory, just for the record. I won't.
can only imagine.
Yeah.
Man. Wow. Hey, we got Erica coming in. Now you gotta love this. Erica's coming in with a super chat to remind folks to please hit the like button. Erica, you're all right. Seriously. And seriously, thank you for that. It's very kind of you. And if you have not hit the like button, please do. It helps us out. We appreciate it a heck of a lot. Real quick, before we gotta finish up our franchise characters that we only got like a third of the way in. But before we do that, we started this thing off talking about Scream 6's box office.
Can I add one last thing to that, because I think it's important.
Oh geez, are you serious?
No, it won't be. No, I swear.
Wow.
No, because I do think that this is a very important. I think this is a very important point. Right?
Go ahead.
Horror movies right now. Get it up. Horror movies right now are having kind of this renaissance, right? Like horror movies are killing it in the box office, from Conjuring on. That's another real reason why I'm so disappointed in the lack of marketing. You have this opportunity right now to kind of capitalize on the huge. I mean, beyond what we. I mean, Conjuring. Did it break the record, or it came close to it? Right? Like I don't know if it actually broke the record yet, but but because of that, you had a bunch of these like R-rated horror movies, even like these smaller movies that just had this like boost in box office, right? Like, and now you're still in that, like, it might be at the tail end, but why aren't you trying to capitalize on that? Like, from a business sense, I think it's just a poor execution. But like Jake said,
I agree too.
Maybe they'll do it.
There's nothing in theaters right now to even throw it in front of. I mean, that's the big thing, man.
True too.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the problem with releasing it so early in the year. I almost wish they, like, the March release date for Scream 6 made way more sense, because they had 3 months at the top of the year to just go nuts.
Yeah,
and now it's February. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
it's a weird time, because you're caught up in December, and again, that's just not a great time to be doing a lot of marketing. And so that once the holidays are over, then you're like in a frenzy, which, I mean, we'll see how it affects it. But I agree, if it was in March, mid or late March, third week of March, that would have given you so much time to kind of like slowly build up everything and get that hype going.
Is there anything specific coming out in March? Why didn't they release it in March? Is there
I don't know
a big movie? Because
I don't know why.
Because remember, was it Scream 5? I think there was questions if they were going to release it, because there was the big Marvel movie, but it fit in right in the perfect pocket. It was there was it Morbius or whatever right before, and then
Morbius.
There was another big, I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but another big Marvel movie right after, but it fit perfectly in that pocket. So I wonder, is there something in March? Because I don't know.
Well, I know in late February that movie The Bride with Christian Bale, that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the only kind of well-known popular horror releases that's going to be coming out. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I do agree it should have been a March release, just to give us that time to really build it up. But perhaps they're just figuring, hey, we're just going to get that small window right after holidays and just go nuts. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
I really think that's what I'm confident in. It seems like they're already paving the way for that. We're worried now, but give it a couple of weeks. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. With all that being said, anything else, and Jake, will start with you and we'll go to Fate. Anything else about Scream 7 that we want to throw out there, whether it be any theory that is on your mind, especially, and I do have one that's I want to throw out and talk to you guys. We've like kind of touched the surface on this a little bit, but anything that's on your mind that is like, whether you believe in it or you don't.
There is a really cool theory going around right now that I don't know if it holds any weight or not, but I hope it does. There's a theory revolving around the Ghostface motive, about it being all about Sidney, all about like, just being super meta in the sense of this Ghostface wants to bring her out in front and be the main character of the franchise again, essentially. Do we feel like there's any truth to that? Do we feel like the motive is actually going to be something interesting like that this time around, or because like I like what's great about that to me is it's meta and it gets in the heads of the fans. A lot of people are coming to this movie, whether you agree with this or not, thinking, why is Sidney the main character again? We just had the Carpenter sisters, kind of refurbish this franchise a little bit. Why are we going back to the old main character? To play off of that and to have Ghostfaces in that headspace, I just feel like is exactly the kind of meta motive this franchise needs right now.
Well, I will say this. I've heard of that one as well, and I do dig it because, like you said, it's going to play. I mean, all of us, we're going to be talking about it, and it is very meta. It also falls right in line with how this story could shape up, with her family, like right there in the bullseye, right? But I also think what would be kind of cool about it, like you just said, is the fact that we've had these last couple of movies where it has not been about her. We haven't had one since 4, and that was a lifetime ago, it feels like. So it's almost like, she's reclaiming, this franchise, she's reclaiming this status as the final girl. And I dig it personally. And I think it actually falls in line with how this movie is looking to shape up. And especially if there is a connection to Stu. Just saying, look, man.
You had to get it in there.
I had to. Like you had to get it in there. Get it up, man. No, I mean, all the pieces are right. Look at Fate. He just left. Fate just left. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. No. But I do think it kind of falls in right there. And I also think that's not a bad thing because we know, I mean, Nev is super amazing. She is this role. This role is her. And I mean, that's leaning into a big strength of this film. Because I think this could be one of the best Sidney Prescott movies in the franchise. I truly do. So, Faye, what do you think about that?
I mean, you could tie it directly into Scream 5, right? Like Stu, or not Stu, God, Richie's whole thing. Get up. Richie's whole motive was that the movie sucked and they want to get it back and they wanted Sam to be that, right?
Yeah.
What if you have a killer that's like Richie had the right idea but he had the wrong target, you know? And it's like he wanted the movies to be great again, going after Sam. He wanted to make Sam be the new Sidney, but you don't fuck with the original type thing, right? Like, you'll never replace the original. So you could have it even tie into the motives that you had. I mean, even Scream 6 was basically his family. You had Jason and Greg wanting to keep on. Like, so you establish that there's essentially a cult or like group that wants to see what Richie did go through, right? So why not just, you have the Meeks twins, so it's not like Scream 5 and 6 don't exist in this universe. So, you could easily have it kind of continue and piggyback, right? We found out in Scream 6 that, Richie has the entire cult museum, or not cult museum, but the Scream museum and stuff like that and all that. Like, you could just kind of keep that trend of like what Richie started. And if you go the cult route or whatever, and you could kind of have like, hey, here's Richie was right. He had the right idea. He just went after the wrong person, right? So now we're gonna go after Sidney, and I just think that would be kind of a cooler thing. But one thing I want to throw out that not really a theory or anything like that, but I thought was awesome and I think deserves some love. Shout outs to Ryan Reynolds for the Mint Mobile commercial with Matthew Lillard. Right?
Yes.
Like, did you guys see that?
Yes.
Like, I thought that was so cool. Like, to be fair, Ryan Reynolds is known for that. He's done that. Like, he had some, like, it was like a TikToker or something like that like ended up getting like a bunch of hate for something. It was like and so he just like put her in one of his commercials, right? So like, that dude is brilliant at marketing, right?
He
Like,
is.
obviously that's why he did it. Like, I'm sure, a hand extension. Like, I don't want to make it seem like Ryan Reynolds just did it for, to make, like, I've always said, like, why if you can make money and be helpful, why not? Right. And
Right.
Matthew Lillard, I'm sure, got paid for it and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, but one, just from the marketing side of things, brilliant marketing by Ryan Reynolds to recognize, like, Paul Dano's probably too big for him to do one of those commercials. Matthew Lillard is like right in that, and it just seems like a Matthew Lillard thing to do.
Yeah, it does.
Two, shout out to Matthew Lillard for making kind of light at the situation, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, that kind of shows. I talked about it in the video they made about it. Like, I think it shows the humility of him.
Yeah.
Like, that he can kind of poke fun at the situation and just kind of take it as like, hey, like, it's a moment. They hate me, but here I am. So I thought it was awesome. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, cool on Ryan Reynolds, because Ryan, like I said, Ryan Reynolds. Who's the guy? Oh, man, what's his name from Free Guy? He played Ryan Reynolds' best friend in Free Guy. What's his name? But anyway, that actor.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the story that he talked about with Ryan Reynolds, where he said Ryan Reynolds saved his career? Because I guess he called out a director or a producer or something like that. Like, some bigwig called him out for being inappropriate, and the guy tried to, like, ruin his career. And Ryan Reynolds was like, that guy's a dick. Don't worry about him. Come do Free Guy with me. And he was like, really? And he's like, yeah, fuck that guy. And literally, like, he had like a whole interview about it where he talked. He's like, dude, Ryan Reynolds, I don't even know where my career would be. And he did a bunch of movies after that, but he couldn't get work. No one would return his calls. He was like, it was really bad. So Ryan Reynolds does have a history of that, however people feel about him or whatnot. But, like, I thought that was cool, and I thought it deserved some love.
Yeah, I mean, well, I will say this too. I think Ryan Reynolds, obviously today Ryan Reynolds is, he's able to pull those strings. But Ryan Reynolds was also at a time way back in the day where he was, just trying to make things happen, and he was in a lot of small roles and stuff like that. So I think that it's cool that he can still, connect to that and still have some of that humbleness. And Matthew, like you said, Matthew has taken the high road on this, but I think Matthew is a realist. Like, he understands his place, you know what I mean? And he's fine with it. He's happy with it. He appreciates it because, like he said, he's not popular in Hollywood. He's popular with his fan base, whoever that fan base may be today or yesterday or in the future. And he's cool with that. He's at peace with that. And you got to respect him, man. Being in Hollywood for as long as he's been, since he was basically a kid, or, what I mean? That's cool to be able to still have that type of level-headedness and not, falter, because, you can say what you want about Quentin Tarantino. He's obviously a legendary director and so forth. But I think we were talking about this last week, Jake. He'll take his shots.
He's known for doing this stuff. Like, that's what's funny is, like, everyone's always surprised. Like, it's like, dude, he said something like this a month ago. Like, it's like every few months, like, he's known to do that. Like, Ethan Hawke even recently was like, that's just it. That's just what you just learn to ignore it. Like, he's just somebody that's what he says. And, and so, to be honest, I would rather be in Matthew Lillard's position than, like, a Tom Cruise position, right? I mean, Tom Cruise, that guy can't, like, do anything. Right? Like Matthew Lillard's probably, I mean, he probably doesn't have hundreds of millions like Tom Cruise does, but that dude, I guarantee you, has millions. He's had big enough roles. He's had enough success. But he gets to stay under the radar. He's living comfortably.
He can choose his roles.
He can choose. He can pick and choose his
TV.
things.
He can do movies.
He can do whatever he wants. He can go do conventions. Like, imagine Tom Cruise at a convention. Like, that guy, you'd have to shut down the place, right? Like, Matthew Lillard could probably go have a meal with his family, and go hang out and do stuff. Like, I've always said, like, even from a YouTube creator perspective, like, I just want to be just big enough to where I'm successful enough to, like, support my family. But, like, I don't want to be like, like Logan Paul or something like that, where, like, everything I do is, like, under a micro. That's just the first name I give. It's probably not the best example, but, like, he's done a lot of bad stuff in his career. But but regardless, however you feel about him, he is a huge internet personality, or Mr. Beast. Like, every time Mr. Beast does something, it's like, under a microscope. Like, even if it's something good, people are trying to twist it into, like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that headache. I don't want to deal with, like, you having to apologize once a week for something you did.
For sneezing.
All of us do something stupid at once a week. Like, I don't want to apologize every time I do or say something dumb. Like,
I definitely have a little bit of a personal vendetta against the Paul brothers. They grew up, and I'm
from
not
Ohio. Yeah.
Dude. I'm not kidding. They grew up 20 minutes away from where I grew up, and like, it's like, fuck those guys. Are you kidding me?
He's like, fuck those guys. That's great. I love it. No love for the Paul boys.
No.
Real quick too, and hey, I get it, man. In the chat, we got Matthew in the house too. Saying, I love the fucking collective. We do too. Thanks so much for the super chat, man. We appreciate you.
We're changing the name now. So
yeah.
Hey,
we gotta do something now. We do.
Well, we have to see if people can figure out the second name. Jake was like, "What? Wait a minute."
I was just gonna roll with it. I was like, "Yeah, guys, find out."
Like, oh yeah.
I got to figure it out too. I don't know.
We're all in this together.
Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z,
and it's right there. All right, guys. So let's go back to our we still got some characters on our franchise list too,
we have
man.
a stream to do.
I want what? Gosh. Oh my god, this guy. All right, so let's bring up these characters, man, because we still had a whole bunch that we didn't even touch.
Oh, we're doing this.
Yeah, let's do. What is going on with this
That's
guy?
the name of the stream, Fate. That's literally the name.
He's like, where am I at?
This is what we're doing today, huh?
Hey, look, Erica said, "There's a second what?" I know, right? Yeah, you didn't think we just got it in 2 tries, do you? No, I'm just.
I love how Wayne said Fate can talk underwater while holding his breath. That's a good one.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Holy shit!
I can't.
Wow.
I've tried it.
You've tried it. You would have. All right, so let's go through a couple more of these characters. I know we're way behind, but let's see if we can get a couple more of these done. Jake, let's start with you. As we were working on this last time, we got the 5 levels: Cream, Fave Scary Movie, Carnage Candy, Billy's Mother, and of course the dreaded Fuck You. And look who we've got next. We got Mr. Jamie Kennedy right there. Where would good old Randy go?
There's one spot for Randy, baby, and it's covered in my cream. So put it all the way up at the top, baby. Come on. Do I even do I have to elaborate? Come on. I mean, Randy's.
Go ahead.
You're like, please actually do the stream. No, I mean, guys, it's Randy Meeks. He's like he's kind of the Scream character. I mean, like, Scream invented the archetype of the Randy. Yeah. How could this not be cream of the crop? I mean, this is literally like a character that has influenced so many other characters in other movies. The guy that knows everything about what's about to happen. Right. I mean, Randy, this might be a crazy hot take, but I think out of every character here, this might be the creamiest character. Like, I truly think this is the most influential, holds the most influence out of any of these characters here, more than anybody.
I will say this too, and then Fate, I'll give it to you. I will say this too. He was such a great character too, right? Like, and on paper, it could have gone horribly wrong 10,000 ways.
100%.
I think Jamie is just he's so talented, and he was able to just like organically just let this character just do his thing. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Like, every scene that he was in was so much fun. Every time I watched those movies, like, it's just like I'm just glued to it when he's talking, when he's a part of what's going on. And it's because the character is just so great. And like you said, the rules. I mean, like, this was just lightning in a bottle for a character. I agree. It's definitely got to go to the cream. Fate, what are your thoughts on good old Randy?
Yeah, I think he's got to go to the cream. To me, it's a no-brainer. I think it also, like, to go into Jamie Kennedy, right? Like, I think it was brilliant to hire, a comedian, because, like, Randy had the comedic timing down. Certain things, like, what? Like, like his reaction time, his facial expressions, right? Him and the type of comedian he was, right? He was that kind of type of comedian from Jamie Kennedy Experience and all that other stuff, right? Like, so he was one of those guys that, like, you know, the facial expressions and the reactions and time. I just thought, like, if you did like a, you know, like a normal actor, I don't know how well that would have done, right? Like, you used like somebody that was, you know, doing stand up and in the comedic space and stuff like that, that I think really kind of played a role into that. And like Jake said, you know, you're talking about a guy that, you know, established, you know, you have hundreds of movies now, if not more, of characters that are in that vein. You know, it might not be exact, but they're, you know, take inspiration from it. I mean, even Scream has tried to emulate that, you know, and it just, but the thing is too, is that like, it was great because Randy was always right. He was just going off of the structure, which tied into the meta element. Like, Randy was the ultimate meta character, right? Like, it was just like perfect. You know, it was like, you know, you talk about breaking the fourth wall and stuff like that. Randy was essentially doing that for the audience. He was the voice of the audience. He explained stuff to the audience without us in the moment really knowing that he's explaining it to us.
Yeah.
Right?
He was able
like,
to do it in a way that we didn't even, you know that he was doing. That's how successful.
You just thought it was a moment. And then you know, once you got a couple Scream movies under your belt, then you realize like, oh no, he's not establishing the rules like, you know, just generically. He's establishing the rules for the audience on how the films are going to go forward. And like I've said, like Scream 3, if you look at the rules from Scream 3, every Scream movie has followed those rules. Every Scream movie. Like Scream 4, 5, and 6 have followed Randy's rules that he established for Ghostface in Scream 3. So like each movie has even carried on his kind of legacy. And he was so great, Wes almost broke his rule to bring him back.
Right. I think one thing that would be cool, I mean, obviously he lives on, you know, through the twins, but I think what would be really cool is even to be meta in this way as well, is like to almost acknowledge, you know, those rules and how, you know, they've kind of helped, you know, in these other Ghostface attacks and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. Just to kind of give that character a shout out, especially with this film doing so many callbacks with so many people coming back and doing whatever the hell they're going to be doing. So,
you know, it'd be cool seeing like if Ghostface, like you should have Randy, because we're doing like, you know, Stu and all this other stuff. Why not have Ghostface like set the rules as Randy? You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like have Ghostface like call Sidney as Randy and set the rules and be like, you know, I know you like Randy's rules type thing. Here are the 3 rules if you want to survive this film. And Ghostface follows those rules. Yeah. Right. So like you set and establish rules. Like he's giving Sidney a way to kind of like, if you follow these rules, you know, you and all your friends, you survive. And then it'd be cool if like every time somebody breaks one of those rules, they die. Yeah. It's like you could have survived if you would have just listened, you know.
Right.
But, yeah,
that would be cool. That would be cool. Well, all right. So he's definitely got to be in the cream. There it is, right there. Next character, the greatest boyfriend of all time, only next to Derek. So, Fate, where's Danny going?
I thought there was so much potential for him. Like,
yeah,
I just think that I just thought it was underwhelming in Scream 6, and then on top of that, we didn't get Scream 7, so we didn't know like what that would have been. Like I thought there was so much story you could have built off of him. I mean, if you want to put him at the bottom, I'm okay with that. I'd probably go Billy's mother, because I don't think it really was his fault. I just think it was the poor writing. But I thought he was just really underwhelmed and used. But I did think, you know, like the ladder, like he, you know, like that was a good moment. Him, you know, trying to get everyone's attention, trying to figure it. He's like panicking, like he's trying to figure all that stuff out. And like, you know, I thought he had some things like, but it was just, he was too Derek that it was, and he's yummy. Yes, of course. You know, he was a man snack. But beyond being a man snack, I also thought like he was too, like he was very sus, right? Like it was just like he was so too understanding, you know. And she's like, you gotta say, So you dragged me all the way down here? Did you, like,
Yeah.
I would have been mad as hell. I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah,
But
he's like, yeah. Don't trust anyone, not
yeah,
even me.
You're right. Not even me. Like,
There's only you gonna be able to figure this out. You know,
Sam was
shut
like,
up.
Dude was down
so-
bad. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
now.
hey, I'm not gonna lie. You know, Melissa Barrera, I am mad at him, but like, you know, Danny,
Well,
obviously, him being yummy. You know, I'm sure Sam was like, I can't trust this hot man. You know, so-
Right. I just can't do it.
You rarely can. You rarely,
Rarely can. Yep. All right. So you're going with Billy's mother, Jake. Well, what are your thoughts on the man snack himself?
I agree. I mean, he's just really underutilized. He doesn't even get killed, which is so boring. This is a slasher movie. Come on now. I think, you know, my biggest fix about Scream 6, like if there's any big regret that I wish they would have done, is actually give us a kill with the two ghost faces. Like, you know, if you wanted Chad to survive, cool, but like that should have resulted in a kill. That should have been Danny getting stabbed to death in every vital organ, and Chad tries to save him and maybe gets stabbed in the gut and falls down dramatically. And oh my God.
Right.
You know, and then comes back at the end, yada, yada. But I think this character was just underutilized, but he's hot. So I'm going to say Billy's mother.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, this guy definitely underused. There was just nothing going on. I mean, he's got a full-size ladder right beside his bed. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just one of those things where I agree he should have been killed or something to really like put some fire underneath of him as a character. Now, perhaps they were just thinking, well, we're just going to, you know, kind of do what they did because everyone's going to look at the boyfriend. Maybe that's what they were thinking. They were like, okay, we're just going to let him. He's not going to get killed. You know, he's not really going to be a big part of the action in the finale, but he's going to be there at the end, you know, and I don't really like that choice, but it is what it is. I agree.
Even if you didn't kill him, at least have him more in the action.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I'm
Like-
saying. Like, give us something so that we can, like, I don't know, like he can have his moment of sorts, right? But yeah, he's got to go to Billy's mother. There's no doubt about that.
Do you think
None
the only
whatsoever.
reason he had that ladder was to be hot? You think he just had the ladder, shirt off, sweating, looking at Sam, like just hammering nothing, just like looking at it, like,
He just
Cameron
carries it
Method.
around because it makes him
yeah,
look strong.
he's just like,
you know?
he's just
Yeah.
like he's just carrying it over his shoulder, like, have you seen my ladder over there?
That's how they
I
should have
love it.
introduced him instead of, you know, him and Sam kissing up in the lobby or whatever.
Yeah,
just him
this
carrying the
hot,
ladder.
hot, sweaty man. Just
Yeah,
like,
just walking around with a
sweating
ladder the whole time.
The world just like oh my
Shirtless
God,
in
like,
fall in New York City, you know.
Yeah, just,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
it's snowing and he's in like
Snowing and he's
boxers
still
stuff.
like
He's
that.
just
He's still got the ladder, you know.
He's just
yeah.
like, what's up, Sam? You know, like, how are you? So like,
And that could have been the scene right in the beginning of the movie. Like, hey, don't ever
Yeah,
trust anybody.
like,
You know,
don't
it's
trust
all on you.
anybody.
Don't even trust me.
you know, like, if you want to come see my ladder later, let me know. It extends.
He's doing his like pecs like while he's
Yeah,
saying all that. you know.
Yeah.
He's just as hot. He's just
That's
as
what
hot.
I'm talking
Bud.
about.
He's just like,
All right, talking about speaking of hotness. Okay, so next up we got Sam, and Jake. Let's start with you. Obviously, Sam from Scream 5. What do you think? Where do we put Sam?
Sam from 5, you know, I'm a little more apologetic towards this character just because a lot of people were crapping all over her performance, being like, why is she so like, you know, very, very stiff in this role?
Yeah.
And then you go back and you watch the original Scream and you're like, she's emulating Billy. Like that's what if you go back and forth and watch both movies, it's like she's delivering lines like how Skeet Ulrich does in the original Scream.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what she's doing, dude. And if you don't like it, I mean, it's perfect research for Billy's daughter. You know what I mean? For me, it's like she did the homework on this. I just don't think she was given that great of material to work with outside of a few things here and there. I think that's my biggest issue with the character. I like the performance, which might be a hot take, but I do think this character, like, I think we figure this character out writing wise, performance wise, much more when we get into Scream 6. So I still think she's pretty awesome in this film though. But I just can't give it cream. I'm going to say fave scary movie.
Okay, all right. Fate, what do you think?
Personally, I put Carnage Candy, and again, I don't think it's anything to do with Sam, or Melissa Barrera. I thought she did. She played the role that was given to her perfectly. Right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, they set up an established why she is the way she is. She's like on, depressions and all, all kinds of stuff. She's on all kinds of medication and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she has Billy. So she's very, plain bagel and stoic because, that's what her character was supposed to be. Like, she's supposed to be on all these drugs that are supposed to kind of keep her emotions and mind in check and stuff like that. So I get all that, right? Like, my problem is I just thought, and the reason I wouldn't put it, at the second stage, I'd put it at the third, is just because, again, that was the introduction to your main character. And again, it's not Melissa Barrera's fault, but like, this was supposed to be who's taking over the mantle for Sidney. Yeah. And I just thought it was underwhelming. Right. And I was very defensive of Sam, even back in Scream 5. I mean, those videos exist, right? Where I was like, dude, no, like, I thought she did great based on what she was given. Like, she played exactly what they wanted her to play. I just don't think it was the right choice for a character that you're trying to have take over for Sidney Prescott. So firstly, I would go Carnage Candy.
Yeah, I think that for me, it's the thing of it is you have this film where they're passing the torch to her, but at the same time, you still do have the OG3 there, right? And we've said this 1,000 times before, 1,000,000 times before. The balance between old and new, it wasn't as good as it could have been, and it definitely wasn't up to what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of characters that we just didn't get a chance to get into. Sam obviously was at the forefront, but because she was presented as a different type of character than Sidney, which I can appreciate. I do like the fact that she was different than Sidney Prescott. She had her demons. She obviously had the connection to Billy, but I also think she had her own like life shit she was dealing with, moving away from her family because of her issues and obviously the secret that she kept and trying to make it out there alone and so forth. The fractured relationship with her family and obviously even with Tara. So I appreciated that, but I don't think they gave her enough time to really cook that up a little bit more, because they also had to spend time, with Dewey, with Gale, and of course Sidney coming in the last 12 minutes of the film. No, not the last 12 minutes, but you get what I'm saying. There was a lot going on. So I think Melissa did what she was asked to do. I just think they didn't have the balance right. They didn't give her enough to do, to be that person that gets the baton passed to them. We saw what she can do in 6. And I think at 6, they definitely gave her a lot to work with. And I definitely think she took full advantage of it and was great. But for 5, I agree. I think we got to go with Carnage Candy. All right. There we go. Okay. Next up, Jake, we got good old Jenny McCarthy. Let's get some more Scream 3 love in here. Where are we going?
Man, this is tough.
Good old Sarah.
I do like Sarah Darling. I actually have said before, this is probably my favorite sequence in Scream 3 is this whole chase, kill, call, whatever. Probably the most intense sequence in all of Scream 3, if I'm being totally real. I don't really know anything about this character outside of that little sequence. I don't really feel like she gets much more to do except for that. No. So I don't know. I think with how minimal this character is on screen, yet still sort of memorable, I'm going to go, I'm in the middle with this one almost exactly. So I'm going to say a very confident Carnage Candy.
Okay. All right. Fate, what are you thinking? Good old Sarah.
I'm all right with Carnage Candy. She did have a good scene. She did have a good sequence. She was great from an acting standpoint in that scene, in that moment. It kind of, it had its comedic elements to it after where, Roman is the one that's chasing after her. And then, he's trying to tell the police that he's a target because he knocked off the head of his trophy. He's like, you don't think this is a sign? Right.
Doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
You don't think and stuff like that. I thought it had, good, kind of points and stuff, but yeah, I don't she just kind of middle of the road for me too. So
Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. They just didn't have enough for her to do. And although that scene, I agree, Jake, that's a great scene, a lot of fun. Although, we all know why they kind of leaned a little bit more into the campiness for 3. I hated the way she got killed though. It just felt so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the scene was so cool, when Roman steps out from the other costumes and like everything's kind of going on, and I'm like, cool. And then, she's just like, and hits the door with the glass, and it was over. It's like, come on, man, throw her somewhere or something. It's
Like
so
if some glass like went through her abdomen or something, that would have been kind of cool. Every time I watch this scene, I'm like, I want just a little more or something.
Yeah, like I don't need to see blood. We know they didn't want to show blood or extreme violence or whatever. I don't need to see a lot of blood, but at least make my mind work better. You know what I'm saying, with the kill. So I agree. She's gotta go to Carnage Candy. All right, next up, our good friend Marcus from I Shot Him 6 Times, the greatest Ghostface killer of all time here, Charlie. Listen, I'll go first on this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? The more and Scream 4 is one of my favorite sequels, and I watched that film I really watch it so much. The more I think about it, and all the killing that Charlie did in Scream 4, like he almost soloed that movie, right?
Yeah, literally.
And I gotta give a lot of credit to just how that character came off. Obviously, at the end of the day, Lovelorn got taken out by Jill, and that's fine. I mean, we understand that. But I really do appreciate Charlie a lot more today than I have, in years past. I think Rory, there was fun in that character. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go on a limb, and I know Marcus, if he ever sees this, he'd be so happy. I'm going to go with favorite scary movie for Charlie. Like, I really, when I really sit back and think about the totality, I got to give him some credit. So, Jake, what do you think?
I really have nothing too strongly in one direction or the other with Charlie. Like, I really don't. I have nothing super negative about this guy. I have nothing super positive either. I feel like he's kind of just Jill's bitch, though. Yeah. And that's, he served his purpose. He did what he needed to do. I think his reveal is kind of cool with Kirby. I feel like they set that up pretty well. Yes. I don't know. I guess I can't go higher than Carnage Candy with him. My big thing with that is, again, I don't feel like he has that standout Ghostface motive. He kind of just he's just in love with Jill. He's just crazy horny, and that doesn't really go anywhere. That's all I got to write home about Charlie,
Crazy horny. All right, we're going Carnage Candy. What do you what do you think?
I mean, Jake's right. I mean, he basically is just, she gave him his first tail, and now he's head over heels. Like, that's essentially what it is. But I will say, like, I do think the fact that it is worth, like, the tie-in. The original plan for Scream 96 was Sidney and Randy to get together at the end, right? Like, Randy was in love and obsessed with Sidney. And, he was originally supposed to be the one to push the TV down on Stu and be the hero, right? That's why, like, you have the line in Scream 2 where he's like, how would you have wrote it? He's like, I would have had the geek get the girl, because that was literally the original plan. But Kevin and Wes talked it through and realized, like, it's a little weird. Like, Sydney's boyfriend, who she just slept with, ends up dying, and then she now is immediately jumping to Randy. Like, it didn't make sense. So I do like that this was kind of like what would happen if Sidney and Randy became Ghostface. Like, I do like that. Like, what happens if Randy really did get Sidney? You had the same kind of, like, obsession and infatuation. I mean, they even highlight that in Scream 2, where, Dewey's like, you got your little love scars, and he's like, like, he shows the thing, and, like, scene. And it's kind of like, it's basically like, how far would Randy have gone for Sidney if Sidney would have went dark side, right? Like, that's basically what you get with Jill. So, like, personally, I would probably do Carnage Candy. It is Night's channel, so if you want to do favorite scary movie, I won't push it too much, but I lean more towards Jake, because I think there's a lot of cool things, but you have to know the history of Scream to make that connection. Like, if you don't know, like, if you just watch Scream 4, you don't know any of that stuff. You're just like, oh, like, he's just basically the bitch, right? Like, but anyway,
no. You guys got the 2 votes on that, so we're gonna put him in Carnage Candy, baby. That's where he's going. Real quick too, before we continue, I just wanted to jump back down into the chat. We got my man Kyle in the house. What's up? Channel member anniversary for you, 10 months. And congrats on right there hitting that milestone for 1K, bro. Saying hey to us and cheers to 10 months. Oh, wow. At 999. Guys, let's get him to 1K. Come on. Somebody tell me right now that he got the 1K. There's no reason he shouldn't get the 1K right now. That's our
Where's his page? Where's it? Hang on now. I can't go to his page from here for some reason. 2 seconds, guys.
Jake's gonna be the 1,000.
my mic just fell off the table. I'm not even kidding.
Oh crap!
I don't know what happened. Oh shit!
I thought he was playing.
Jake got so excited to be the 1,000 sub.
Bro, if someone takes it from me now, I'm gonna be so mad because of my stupid mic.
Oh,
I'm just gonna go. I gotta fix this, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's
I don't know what happened.
Holy crap, man! That thing just was just
Jake will take everyone on a poop cruise if you don't subscribe yet.
Oh my god!
If everyone waits for Jake to get his mic together.
You're going on the poop cruise whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. Oh my gosh!
You have to explain to me what a poop cruise is,
so
that
weird,
way I
dude.
can make a decision. Maybe we'll go and film
Is
content.
it so I can make a decision? Should that decision already be made? I'm just saying.
It depends on what it is. Like, what if
The
it's something
decision will
really
be made
cool?
for you.
What if it's really cool? What if it's like an amusement park where you're just like, you get to like, it's a water slide, but it's a toilet, and you're just like,
All right, so listen, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but come on, man.
if it's something where they just like throw poop at you the whole time,
Yeah,
then that might be a little rough. You know?
Look, I'm not down with the poop Olympics. Okay, I'm just saying. Real quick too, though, man. We got you guys. We got Jerry in the house also with a channel member anniversary, 25 months. The big 25, man. Thank you so much. Saying having a blast being here. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate the support. Much love to you. Val said that Kyle's at 1K.
Nice.
There we go. Come on. We knew we could get there. You guys are all right. Thank you.
Was it
Kyle?
Jake or was it somebody else?
It was me. I saw it happened.
Oh,
Screw all you guys. It was me.
It was me. Hey, no, you know what you should have said? You should have been like, "Of course it was me." You know?
Of course it was me.
That's what you should have said.
Damn.
Oh man. All right. So of course it was me. Oh my god. All right. So next up, speaking of the greatest boyfriends ever of all time, there's our good friend Derek. Faye, let's start with you. Where are we putting the man that stops lunches in cafeterias?
like, so you're not wrong, right?
I'm not wrong.
Derek is so cringy that it's like it's great,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's so like it's like let's take one of those Hallmark rom-coms and like turn it up 10 and like like every time I watch that cafeteria scene, I'm like, we could really do without this. Like,
Right.
Every time I watch
such a
that
good
scene,
movie until now.
I'm like, man, you really could have cut this whole thing out. But like, like his significance, I think, is very important, right? Because he's the follow-up to Billy, right? And the fact that Sidney even was willing to kind of fall in love again, but you see the lengths that Derek has to go through and kind of the understanding and stuff, which again kind of goes into his guy and the type of guy he is. But like, it's also, like her letting him die because of the lack of trust, which then kind of sets her off to become who she was in Scream 3, where she just like is like, I want to stay away from it. Like everyone that gets next to me dies. Anyone like she says to her dad, like killers can't kill who they can't find type thing, right? Like, so it's just like it really feels like in a lot of ways Derek was the straw that broke the camel's back with Sidney. Like after he died and she realized basically a good guy dies and she wears his thing she carries it on forever, right? Like, so,
Yeah.
like, you see the significance that he had in her life. It's hard because, like, the character I don't think was like super like, oh my god, like great, like,
Yeah.
but I just think with this how significant he was, like, I think he probably belongs in Carnage Candy, but I wouldn't fight you if you wanted favorite scary movie, because I do think the significance should put him above some of these other characters just because the longevity even beyond Scream 2. Right? So
Okay.
anyway.
All right, Jake, what do you think?
I'm sorry, man. This guy sucks. I just don't. Man, like, I like when Scream 2 gets campy, and I like camp. I do, but there's just sometimes there's just there's too much camp, and Derek's part of the problem, man. For me, Billy's mother, the singing thing. If he didn't, I'll say this though, if he didn't have the singing thing, I would agree with Fate. But it's so jarring of a scene. I can't get over it. I'm sorry, guys. One of the worst scenes in the whole Scream franchise, and it's because of him, Billy's mother.
Wow, and that's saying a lot because you hate Mrs. Loomis. So.
Scream 2, I have this love-hate relationship with Scream 2. It has these highs. I mean, some of the best moments of the whole franchise. Gale and Dewey's whole chase scene is fucking awesome. The opening scene, I mean,
legendary.
Perfect. I mean, I have no notes about these sequences. And then Derek singing Billy's mother. I'm just like, what is how do we go from this to one of the greatest opening scenes of all? I don't know. Every scene in Scream 2 is the best thing I've ever seen or trash, and there's no in between.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, but you get a Ghostface hyping it up. You get Mickey's like,
that's the best. That's the best part of the scene. Not the singing.
The best part of the scene, for sure.
He's just over there hyping it up.
Oh, sweet God. All right, so listen, look, you guys make great points. The singing is crappy. I mean, look, he knew he shouldn't have done that. But I will say, and I do agree with you, Fate, as far as the significance he has in the story, for Sidney, and of course, how it's just tragic at the end. It's like, shit, man, you just killed Derek, bro. All right, so I'm gonna go with Carnage Candy. So I think that's where he will end up, is in good old Carnage Candy. But the singing was crappy, though. We know that. All right. So real quick, too, in the chat, we got Jen coming in. Thank you for the super chat, Jen. How many times can they say poop? I don't know how many more times we can say poop. We talked about a lot of poop, and I am not a fan of poop.
I could talk about the poop cruise for the next hour if you really wanted me to.
Poop. Like all of a sudden. Thank you so much, Jed. You're all right.
No,
appreciate
the
you.
real question is how much poop can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could poop poop? That's what.
Oh man. What's going on? Kyle's giving some thanks, not about the poop, but about the 1K. Thank you. You're welcome, bro.
Quality
big congrats. Yeah, big congrats, man. He's probably thinking, I got to 1K on a poop stream.
He's like, thank God I got to 1K so I could flush on out of here.
Oh God. Hey, look, Erica said I had secondhand embarrassment for Derek. There you go.
I did
love
too.
it. I love it. We all did. He knows it. Okay, let's just do a couple more real quick. We got 100% Cotton, Jake. What are we doing for Cotton in Scream 3?
I love Cotton Weary's arc. I think it's so interesting. He's not a Ghostface, but he is kind of a secondary antagonist. And here in Scream 3, I think he gets exactly what he deserves. I think there was no other option except to kill him in the opening for Scream 3. This was a great choice. I just feel like the kill is, it's a little boring. I'll say that. I think it's just a little like, whatever. I mean, it's cool conceptually, but outside of that, I don't really have much else to write home about with it. I also think the assembly cut version of this kill is way more interesting, which is maybe a hot take. I think that it's more stylistic in the movie, and I think that's what they were going for. But I kind of liked how they didn't. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it before, but it's like they don't show you what's actually going on at the house. So you're as the audience member, you're in Cotton's seat. You don't know what's going on with his girlfriend, and then you get there, and it's like, oh shit, Ghostface. It's cool. I don't know. I just like the way that's set up better. So Cotton in Scream 3. be, again, I think a mixed bag. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but yeah, Carnage Candy, I think for me.
That's fair enough. And Wayne, you're absolutely right. Liev was like, damn it, man, I shouldn't have done that. I could have been getting some cheddar all these years later. I agree. Fate, what do you think about Mr. 100% Cotton?
Well, if we're going on Scream 3's Cotton,
yes, Scream 3's Cotton.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's Billy's mother. Like, I felt like I love Cotton. I love the story arc where, you know, he was the fall guy to, like, now is he like looking for revenge for Sidney and stuff like that. I thought there was so much more you could have built on his character, and that was originally the plan until Liev was like, "Get me out of here," type thing. But like, because he wasn't supposed to be the opening scene, so to me, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, the scene was cool, right? Like he kind of got what he wanted. He kind of gets to be a star, and he has his own show, and like he gets to interview people, like. Yeah, in his tight little shirt, and he's got, you know, his you know, hot little girlfriend, but he's still, you know, kind of like that slumdog that's just, you know, creeping and going through stuff, and like it just like I do think that there was some really good elements to.
Can I hit a pause just real quick? Night, the way that you're just like, yeah, Cotton in his tight little shirt, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm losing my mind over here. Like I'm sorry, that's so funny.
You caught it. You caught the subliminals. Yeah.
He's over here like.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a thing for Liev Schreiber, man. I mean, it's rock on. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Liev Schreiber's the shit, man.
He is.
He's over like, I got some popsicles for you, Cotton. Get your fat ass back here.
No, what I was thinking more so was.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah.
Anyways,
the real question is, who are we thirsting more for, Danny or Cotton?
Right? Julie's asking the question. We got to figure it out.
Dude, no lie, I'm down to do a thirst stream. Like, who are the hottest guys in Scream? I'm so down. Like, I would do that for sure. Like, we could rank all the, like, who's the hottest guy in Scream.
Hey.
You know, but back to not
reality
over men. No, damn, I lost my train of thought. But
because of that tight little shirt.
That tight little shirt. You know what? I don't know why, but that reminds me of the Taylor Swift song. Got that James Dean slip back, you know, tight little shirt. Like my daughter's like obsessed with Taylor Swift, so I have Taylor Swift bumping all the time. But plus Taylor Swift's awesome. I don't care. Travis is a lucky man. Or Taylor's a lucky girl. I mean, you know.
Wow.
But no, I thought Cotton had some good moments. I thought Cotton had some nice like kind of details, I guess, in Scream 3.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought was, you know, kind of a little underwhelming, personally.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So you're going with the Carnage Candy?
I mean, I'll do Carnage Candy just because his shirt was so tight, but like I'd probably do Billy's mother. But
oh man,
I'm up to favorite scary movie after all this tight shirt talk. So let's throw him up there now.
How could we not be?
Where he's like, maybe you could get a tighter shirt. And he's like, we tried, we couldn't find it.
We tried, you know. Hey, well, you gotta love the way he was thinking, man. He was like, look, man, I got a chance to like have this moment. I've been working out and everything, you know, let me have my moment. I give him credit. But, you know, I love the character, and I think he was such a fun character, and especially where I thought he might go after 2, because that was just some great stuff. That was great tension, and you're wondering maybe what's going to happen. I was sad to see him go, you know, in the opening kill, but it did make sense. Although I agree with you, Jake, like there was so much cool stuff in it. And of course, you know, the voice changer and everything. But it was kind of like, it kind of started off really cool. And then it kind of just fell for me, you know, that scene.
Yeah.
Still not a bad opening scene, but I just wish it just felt kind of anticlimactic. That's all it was for me. But I agree. I could go with Carnage Candy. I mean, the shirt's tight enough for me. And so
if it was tighter though, you know, different
conversation. If it was tighter, I mean, you know, like bro, like go for it, you know. Oh, jeez. What's going on here?
Okay,
Hey, look.
who's hotter, Liev Schreiber in his tight shirt or Danny with the ladder, shirtless in the snow?
In the snow at that, right?
Yeah, shirtless in the
Dude,
snow.
yeah.
See, that's the key. Is it cotton, just shirt?
He's so hot he doesn't even need a shirt,
But it's
dude.
just
Like
like,
he keeps
Right.
warm with the cold ladder on his shoulders. So I mean
Right,
that's
right.
the answer, guys.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
don't touch the ladder, it might be hot.
It might be hot. Real quick too in the chat, man. This is crazy. We got Mandy coming back in, and
I'm sorry.
Erica said, "Glad you're back." She said, "Me too. I feel like I missed so much." Well, you missed the fact that Kyle got his 1K on the poop stream, and we're talking about tight shirts. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy, but we're having a blast. All right, let's do another character or two, and we'll be winding it down. We got Dewey from 5. I'm just gonna say right now, I'll start off with this, then we'll get to you, Jake. I loved what David brought to this role. Like, to me, this was a great example of a character that went through a lot of stuff. Obviously, there was, a lot of time in between 4 and 5. And I just thought he had some great moments, a lot of growth character-wise, but he still was Dewey. That's the thing I loved the most about it. Like, and that's hard. That's a hard balance, man, because he's obviously down and out. Him and Gale aren't together. He's obviously drinking. He's not doing his job anymore. So he lost so much, but he was still that great person inside. He was still that heart of what he always was, the franchise. And although the way he got killed, I wish could have been different. I think he was just fantastic in this movie. For me, he was a standout in 5, and I would personally say he's got to be the cream. Jake, what do you think?
I'm with you, man. I think this is one of my favorite Dewey performances. I don't get me wrong, I love him in all of the movies. I do. But in terms of what are the two performances that stand out the most from him, I think it's the original Scream and Scream 5. I really think those are my two favorite Dewey performances. He's this great, lovable teddy bear across most of the movies, but here we actually get to see him really dealing with the demons of the past, giving, I think, one of his best performances in all of these films. It's emotional. I think it's such a high point of this film for not only really giving it stakes, but also showing us the end of this character arc and stomping out on our hearts a little bit and really making us feel. So I love everything that they got to do with Dewey in the 5th film, and I really think his death holds a lot of weight. It's something that's carried over in multiple movies too. I got to go with Cream, man. This is one of my favorite David Arquette performances, maybe ever, even outside of the Scream franchise.
I agree with that. Fate, what do you think?
I mean, I'm totally on board with Cream. I thought he was the heart and soul. He was the best part of that movie, in my opinion. The only thing that I didn't like about it, and that's not really David Arquette's or Cotton or Dewey's fault.
He's still there.
I still have that tight shirt in my mind. That
Understandable.
I don't really blame Dewey's role for that, but I hated the story and explanation for him and Gale, because it's like, if you've ever watched a Scream movie, that would never happen. Like, the whole point is like, Dewey's always the one chasing Gale, and Gale's always the one that runs away. Like, and I get, like, you're trying to do the inverse, but like, that's the whole thing. Like, I could see if Gale left Dewey again to, which would have made sense given Scream 4, right? Gale, she's a stay-at-home wife. She doesn't like it. She's trying to write a new book. She has writer's block. Remember the scene where she's like, I don't fucking know. Like, she's trying to do all that. Like, I think it would have been perfect where she kind of like, you could have wrote it to where she wrote the book after Scream 4, reinvigorated her success. She got the taste for success again. And then, Dewey wanted to stay sheriff in the small town, and Gale was like, all right, and just left. Because that's what she's always done, right? Like, the whole thing is like, Dewey's always been the one that, was there for Gale. Like, even when no one else wanted to be, he's the one that always was chasing her and stuff. And it would have fit, like in Scream 3, where, she talked about, I hated Woodsboro, right? Days felt like years there, right? Like, but Dewey's the sheriff. Dewey has a life. He has all this stuff, it would have made more sense that he's a small town guy. I get like they're trying to make it, he went to the big city and couldn't cut it, so he went back to be a small town. But I think you could have done all the same stuff, just reversed it. I mean, kept Dewey true to his character. He still could have been, he still could have lost his job. He still could have, been drinking from the bottle. Like he could have spiraled after she left again. And, and now, but he still loves her. So he still watches her show and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than, trying to paint him, as this coward. That was the whole thing. Like, like I'm a coward. It's like, but that's not who Dewey is. Like Dewey's the one guy that's always running into the fire. He's surrogate big brother. Like, he's the one that like always does the right thing in the end. So it's just, but yeah. Anyway, if you guys want to go Cream, I'm all for Cream.
Is that what you would go with, or you go with?
I'd go favorite scary movie, just because there's a couple things about Scream 5 that really just bother me. And again, it's nothing to Dewey's portrayal, nor is it. I mean, there's other things that I could go into, but without ranting for 20 minutes, like it's just I do think it's David Arquette's best performance. I do think it's the best version of Dewey, but I just think certain elements and story points are just. It's just like it doesn't make sense. Like if you've ever watched another Scream movie, like it's just that's where my problem is. But
one thing I want to say about it too is that who would have thought that Dewey, being weathered and grizzled and kind of just all edged up like that would have worked. Yeah, he's the freaking snack. He's the one. Like when he did that walk, I was just like, bro, you have achieved a status here. And I believed it because David was so good in the role. When he was watching Gale on the TV and the little smile, whatever. And I was just thinking, man, it's little things like that, little nuances that David had in the performance that really just hit home. And granted, this is built upon since 96 with this character. So of course there's that, but you had the payoff and it worked. It was organic. And I really, just to just give him a hell of a lot of credit. I just think he was fantastic in that. And he has to go in the Cream. He's got to go in the Cream.
He was creamy in that movie for sure.
He was, man. I'm not going to lie. David, hey, I met him in real life, bro. He is cool as shit. He really is. He was such a kind guy.
He seems wild. Like he seems like a guy that like if you want to go to jail and party, he's the guy you hang out with. I mean, some of the stories of him like are like crazy. You ever see his documentary? He's wild. Yes. That dude's all for like he's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Like it's my kind of guy. Let's do it.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. Real quick too in the chat, we got Jason coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you. Fate, remember when Dewey got killed and lifted off his feet?
Trying to bait me. You're trying to bait me.
I'm telling you, you three been killing it with content. Appreciate you so much. And Alligator rules as always.
Yes, it
does.
Thank
you so much, man. You're all right, bro.
I appreciate you, Jason, but you're not gonna bait me.
We're not going to be baited by Jason, but we're going to get baited by Jen, who came in with gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Jen. Seriously, we appreciate all the love and support you show to all of us and the community. And it's just awesome. Seriously, for all you guys that got a membership and we see you guys, thank you so much. And welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. All right, let's go one more character, guys, and we're going to close this thing down. Good old Liv, that moment in 5 was huge, but is it huge enough to give her a good ranking? Jake, where are we going to go with her in this?
Man, this actually kind of breaks my heart a little bit. I love that moment, but it has nothing to do with Liv. It could have been anyone who's getting shot in the face.
So true.
Yeah, dude. I think she's a terrible red herring. I just don't have a whole lot of love. This is one of those underdeveloped characters that I feel like kind of anchors Scream 5. Like, I feel like if we're talking about like new characters, Scream 5, as of right now, has the worst. Scream 7 could fix that, but hopefully not. Hopefully that's the most underdeveloped it gets. Liv is just sadly one of those characters. I gotta go fuck you with this one.
Yeah, man. Okay. Fate, where are we going?
I'm with it. Like she just she just you didn't get anything from her. You didn't get any substance.
You didn't get anything,
like,
bro.
You got an awesome kill. It was like, it was like it I mean, look, we've talked about like debated her and Annika, right? Like, it's just I kind of feel about her the way I felt about Anakin. Like, you didn't get any substance of her. Like,
Oh
why
man,
do we
we're
care
gonna
about-
fight.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. At least with
Why do we
Annika,
care
there was something that I felt, and not only that, but also, and I know you're gonna say that's because of her relationship with Mindy, but it is what it is. That's how the character's presented. But Liv, I didn't feel anything about
Yeah,
this
but you
chick.
got more development. You got more.
You
got more
did?
detail. You got more. Yeah, you got more details about Liv than you did at Annika.
What
I
details did you
disagree.
get? Her social security number?
All right, give me a handful of things that you got from Annika outside of being Mindy's girlfriend.
No,
Because
that's fair.
She's
That's
Mindy's
fair. You didn't
girlfriend.
get a
She's
lot.
Mindy's girlfriend, and
She
Liv
likes to
was
crochet.
Chad was her girlfriend, right?
But there's no emotional moment between Liv and Chad. I don't care about
Right.
these two as a couple at
I
all.
don't either.
I
I
did
don't.
care about Annika and Mindy as a couple, which was surprising. I was like, whoa, okay, that
here's
hit.
the thing. You got an emotional. You didn't get the emotional scene from Mindy and Annika because that was the relationship. What you got from Liv and Chad was their relationship was dysfunctional. Their relationship was a disaster. She was high maintenance. She was, controlling. She was a mess. And she two-timing him behind his back with Vince and all this other stuff, right? Like, she was the one that, I date college guys type thing, right? Like, so you got from their relationship and the moment exactly what their relationship was, just like you did with Annika and Mindy.
But it doesn't do anything for me, like
Yeah, but
Mindy and
that
Annika.
doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It just you connected more with the emotion.
No,
You
that
connected
that
more-
still works. That's still a point, though.
Yeah, but see, okay, but it definitely happened. But the point of it is like, does it hit? Like, for instance, if you take someone like, let me just think, like, you can have a character that is just kind of there, and not really meant to be like sappy, let's say, but you can still like connect to them, like whether it's the performance or how they're portrayed within the group or whatever. And I just feel like with Liv, she was just there. Yeah, I know she was supposed to be that type of chick, and that's fine, but I just didn't feel anything about her whatsoever, except when she got shot. And like you said, Jake, anybody could have. Samantha was just like, "Screw you, Liv." But,
damn, dude.
But okay, so what are you thinking, Fate? You think that she should be not?
No,
in
I think
Fuck
she
You?
should be in Fuck You.
Oh.
1000%. But like I said, I think Annika should. No, I literally said that I think just like Annika, I think Annika and Liv should both be in Fuck You. And then Jake went, we're gonna have to fight.
We're
Yeah,
hands
the
are gonna be
fighting
thrown,
tight
baby.
shirts, bro.
both characters are terrible, but you got more details from Liv than you did.
Listen, buddy, I got a tighter shirt than you do. Okay, all right.
Wow.
I got a ladder and snow outside.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All
right.
Just saying.
Wow.
Don't make me get the
Okay.
ladder out.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Liv's going into the Fuck You.
Show you
So
I'm taking
never
it
gonna-
off, baby.
we're never
Sorry.
gonna finish this list, man. This is crazy. All right, so let's you guys. So we're gonna take a pause there. We still got a whole bunch of characters. Who knows? We'll finish it at some point, maybe. But this was this was a blast. We learned a lot tonight. We learned about poop and ladders in the
being
snow
yummy.
and tight shirts. I mean, what more could you be asking for?
What else can
All
you
right.
ask for from a Scream stream, especially? I mean, yeah.
Hey, I know, man. We're really out there. Hey, that's because we haven't had any marketing for 7. Okay, that's why we're in this conversation right now.
That's why we're talking about poop cruises.
Exactly.
We have nothing else to talk about. We're at an all-time low.
We're working hard here, guys. That's all I'm saying. We're trying. Oh my god! For all you guys that were here, we really appreciate y'all being here. Seriously, and again, congrats to my man Kyle for getting that 1K. That's a huge milestone, and I know you've been working hard, putting out a lot of content. Jason coming in right at the end just to make sure that we got a good one here. Thank you so much, man. And he is saying, remember when Mickey said Billy's mother? That was awesome. And that's too bad at the same time. Seriously, Dewey was lifted up. Laugh out loud. There you go.
Trying to bait me. He's trying to be a masturbator.
He's trying.
But it won't happen. It won't happen.
And maybe if he had a tight shirt on, it would work.
If you had a tight shirt or a ladder in
Maybe.
the snow.
Jason, you got to get a tight shirt on, man. I'm just saying. Ginger Ninja, our brother from down under. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. This was a blast. You're gonna have to check out the replay on this one, man, because we went all over the place. All right, guys. So who would have thought it would have gotten like this? So we're gonna get ready to head on out. We appreciate all of you guys as always. Make sure that you follow everybody here. Subscribe to Fate Decided, to Killjoy Jake, and also to Craven Something Scary. Make sure you guys do that. And more than that, check out some content, guys. It's December, and yeah, like I said, this is definitely a time for the horror community to get together and stay strong. So we will catch you guys next time. As always, the collective has spoken. Peace.